Hey everybody, this is GGB. I know you're not used to intros per se, but for this episode I'm going to have to do intro, basically explaining. So I don't know if many of you remember, but in the wildcard matchup against the Conference USA Vikings, Ziggy Ansah went down with an injury early on in that game and he did not return. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to roll a 4-sided die to determine how many weeks he will be out. If I roll a 1 like that and it's face up, that means that he will be able to play this week. That he'll be out for one game, and that was the game that he was hurt in. If I roll this 2, that means he's going to be out for this game. And if they make it past this round, he'll be available for the next one. If I roll this 3, he'll be out all the way up until the Super Bowl if they play in the Super Bowl. And if I roll this 4, he will be out the entire time. There will not be a comeback for Ziggy Ansah. He will be hurt the entire time. So let's roll this thing. 4. That's some bad news for the Independents. Hey everybody, this is GGB. I wanted to give you guys a look at this final roster here to give you an idea. So we add Amani Bledsoe from Notre Dame to fill that defensive end role that Ziggy Ansah left after having that ending injury. It ends his playoff run with the Independent Chiefs. To give you an idea of how much this hurt the Independent Chiefs, not only do they lose 73 overall players, they lose about 9 overall points, they also lose one of their better interior pass rushers when they decide to go after the passer. They normally play him at rush defensive tackle. And when they're playing a team that is better than them, they could have used him. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Hey everybody, this is GGB, co-host Puffers. I'm really excited for this game. I really am. I think of all the games, I thought this one had the best chance of being a blowout, mainly because I thought the Mountain West has a little bit more of a, I don't know how to say this, more complete roster than the Independents, because you have Josh Allen who can carry a football team, and I just don't know if Taysom can. But I think this is an interesting game because regardless of what happens here tonight, we will know one of the conference matchups. If the ACC wins, we know that the Big 12 will be facing the Big 10. And if the Independents win, we know they'll be facing the Big 10, and the ACC will get to watch to figure out who their next opponent's going to be. It would be the Big 12. If the ACC wins, they'll have to wait to see who their next opponent will be. If the Independents win, obviously, they're going to have to wait the Big 12's going to have to wait to see who they're traveling to. If they'll be traveling to Buffalo, if they'll be traveling to I forgot the other team. Washington. But the Independents are going to kick off and look at this ACC offense first. I think it's actually really interesting ACC offense. I'm a little bit worried about for the Independents what happens when Byron Jones is matched up on someone, because Byron Jones is a really legitimately great corner. I think he's a top 15, top 20 corner in this league. He's extremely solid, number 2 corner for the Dolphins. But outside of that, you'll notice if you watch the rules and roster video again, there is a significant drop-off in talent. So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup between Byron Jones and Deandre Hopkins. But Justin Yoon is out to kick this ball away. It is off. And it is going to be returnable by Jamison Crowder. And Jamison Crowder is a player that, he's probably the 6th or 5th best receiver on this team, but he's so good at what he does in the NFL. He gets kickoff and punt return duties. He also gets the slot job, mainly just because of how good he is in the slot in the NFL. Really great at what he does. He's really gotten a niche in the NFL and found his role for a lot of teams. And I'm really impressed with what Jamison Carter's done in the league. But Lamar Jackson set in the field for the first time since... Actually, well, they had the play-in game, but you guys didn't get to see the play-in game. First time for you guys to see since that Super Bowl run he had last year. 2 tight ends set with Darren Waller on the field. Looks like it might be a run to Dalvin Cook. They do go run up the middle with Dalvin Cook. He's a big hole. And it's going to be interesting. We all know that the defensive line for the Chiefs isn't great. And it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, if I'm going to be honest, because they were able to get 1-year rentals with their 2 starting defensive tackles with Fatakasi and I don't know what the guy's name is. But they're from UConn. They're not sticking around here for a long time. This is their 1 year. They're going to the FCS Division II, Division III team after this year. So it's just going to be interesting. So their 3 wide receiver set. It's a really nice set that they run with. But they go run again with Dalvin Cook, who strips off his tackle and makes it a 6-yard gain. And I don't know. I would keep doing it. Daniel Sorensen eventually makes the tackle, who I respect what Daniel Sorensen has done with his career in the NFL. Really found himself a little niche with the Chiefs. Make some big-time plays in the playoffs. He's a very good player. 2 tight end set. I think this could be another run with Dalvin Cook, and I don't know why you would stop doing that. They actually go pass here with Lamar Jackson. He's got to scramble. He's going to pick up a lot of yards on the ground. Going to get all the way to the 38-yard line of the Chiefs. And they have gotten all the way to the 38-yard line of the Chiefs without making a single pass. That is insane to me. But it's just the defensive tackles for the Chiefs just aren't good. And they're going to get worse again before they get better. They're going to lose their 2 starting defensive tackles next year. So that's not going to be good for you if you're an independent Chiefs fan, right? So, I don't know. I think it's going to be really interesting come next year to see what they do. And whoever is going to play them gets to run against them a lot. Shotgun here from Lamar Jackson. They're going to go past. They bring a blitz. He fires it out to Darren Waller. Picks up about 9 yards on the play. Nice play by Darren Waller. Nice find by Lamar Jackson. And they've been playing this defense like a fiddle so far. Second down of the ball. Actually, second down of the ball game. They got a 6-yard rush once. 9-yard play. So, yeah, it's been pretty much domination for the ACC early. But, again, independents find their trying to figure out what they're doing on defense. Run with Dalvin Cook up the middle. He's going to get stuffed. I think that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Nice little play there made by Daniel Sorensen. Actually, 1st and 10. And Kyle Van Noy. And they have some pretty solid linebackers. Fred Warner, Kyle Van Noy, Jalen Smith. I like all these guys. They're all very talented players. I'm a little bit worried about the defensive line, if they can get after him without Ziggy Ansah, but we'll see. Empty set here for Lamar. He has a lot of time to throw it. He fires it, and that's going to be a touchdown to Devontae Parker, I believe. First receiving touchdown of the game. Devontae Parker, number 3, I don't remember. Tyler Boyd, actually. I'm sorry, I thought that was Devontae Parker. Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd's the number 2 receiver for this team. Expect to see a lot of Tyler Boyd because they're going to focus a lot on Deandre Hopkins, as they should. Nuke Hopkins is one of the best receivers in this league. But I don't think you can exactly forget. I don't think Tyler Boyd can be an afterthought. And that was really easy for the ACC Buccaneers. And if they do that this game, both of you, they're going to look at it, see if Tyler Boyd got both feet in bounds. Let's look at it again to see if he did. I don't know. Let me see. He catches it. Does he? I don't know if he gets that second foot down. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. Since they reviewed it quickly, it's probably going to be upheld. But I honestly don't know if he got that second foot to touch down. It looked like he didn't to me. They're going to keep it on the board, though. So it's going to stand, but I just don't know if I agree with that call because I don't know if he got that second foot down, but I think the animation was supposed to get 2 feet down, so maybe that's it. But ACC is going to go for the extra point here with Deshaun Watson holding. Kick is up. Kick is good. And 6 plays, 72 yards. It was really easy. I don't know if anyone else thought that. It didn't seem like they faced much resistance at all. But, I mean, if you're Andy Reid, you got to figure out a way to stop this. I mean, this is the Super Bowl. Bruce Arians versus Andy Reid. And Bruce Arians got the better of him in that matchup. We'll see if Andy Reid can get the better of him in this one. But remember, the Independents have never made it past this round before. They've always reached here. 3 straight years they've reached this spot, and they've yet to overcome that and get past it. We'll see if that changes this year. Kickoff is off and away. Golden Tate's going to take a knee in the back of the end zone, and we're going to see if Taysom Hill can lead this offense. Andy Reid has been very... I mean, he's gotten used to this quarterback which, I mean, I love Taysom a lot, but I don't know if he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I don't know if he's a backup quarterback in the NFL. But he's used him to make it pass really good teams and really good quarterbacks like Big Ben Roethlisberger. And they've been able to use this Taysom Hill for, 3 years now? It's going to be interesting if you give Andy Reid Zach Wilson and see how that's going to work out in a couple of years. The Independents could be a legitimate Super Bowl contender, but this year, Taysom has done extremely well underneath route to, I believe, Golden Tate. No, was it? Wasn't Wolf I don't think. Chase Claypool. 83 is Chase Claypool. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. But yeah, you can't really test it deep with Taysom Hill because his arm strength and deep accuracy is just, it's not there. It is not good. So, I don't know. I'd run the ball a lot. You have Jamal Williams, and Theo Riddick was absolutely dominant in your Conference USA game. So, I'd use him to do something about it. Jamal Williams is in the backfield for this one. They go pass, bring a little bit of blitz. He fired it to a wide open. I don't know who that is for the time being, but it was a nice find. Will Fuller. I mean, if they want to win this game, Will Fuller's got to be big for them. I mean, you had the two Texans receivers. They were teammates a couple of years ago. People forget that because one's in Arizona and one's in Miami now. But, yeah, Will Fuller's their best receiver, and you cannot leave him wide open. Yeah, I mean, if you're the ACC, you got to force, Chase Claypool and Golden Tate to make the plays. You can't let Will Fuller make the play. So they go shotgun here again. They go run for the first time of the game. Theo Riddick has a little bit of running room, but he cuts it back inside. Only gets about 4 yards on the play. But yeah, I don't know if you guys watched that wild card game. Theo Riddick was huge in that game. They didn't use Jamal Williams much. They used Theo Riddick a lot. And again, as I said with the Mountain West, if they want to win this game, they want to pull off the upset. The running backs have to be huge, and both of them are very good players in Jamal Williams and Theo Riddick. Two tight end set here. They're going to go pass. Actually fires it underneath to, who is that? I don't know who that was. I didn't see the number. Will Fuller again brings up an early 3rd and 5. They kind of have to pick up because it's looking so far like they've got to win in a shootout, and you've got to keep picking up first downs for the Independent Chiefs. That's all I have to say because the defense and all catch you. Shotgun here with Theo Riddick on the field. They bring a little bit of blitz. He fires it to an open Kyle Rudolph, and he picks up a huge first down, 19 yards on the play. And Kyle Rudolph making his first catch of the ball game. We've yet to see Golden Tate on this drive, but he's getting it really to everyone. Theo Riddick's gotten a carry. You have throw to Chase Claypool and throw to Will Fuller and Kyle Rudolph there. The only person that really hasn't gotten involved in is Golden Tate. And Jamal Williams has yet to have a carry, which is interesting because he's supposedly the number 1 running back on this team, although it has not felt like it during the wild card round in this game so far. Again, Theo Riddick in the backfield. I think they bring him on because he's more useful in passing downs. Yeah, he has time. Taysom Hill's got to scramble out of the pocket. He's got to slide for about a 6-yard gain. Brings up a 2nd and 4. And that's what you have to worry about if you're playing Taysom Hill is he has wheels. That's something he does. He's very good at running. He is an extremely fast quarterback, and you're going to have to worry about that a lot if you're the ACC Buccaneers. Try and slow him down. They go Jamal Williams here, so this might be the first run of the ball game with Jamal Williams. It is not. He has time. He fires it to an open Golden Tate. First catch of the ball game for Golden Tate, and this has been a really successful drive so far for the Independent Chiefs. 7 plays, but they're all the way down to the 14-yard line, and maybe they can, if they keep doing this offensively, which is interesting because the ACC is, I think, one of the better defenses. They could possibly pull off the upset here. 2 tight end set here with Jamal Williams on the field up at the first run. They do not. They go pass. He fires it to Kyle Rudolph again. Picks up about 6 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards. Man, walking that down. Actually, that was the Tyler Eifert. So literally every person except for Jamal Williams really on the offense has gotten a catch. Now, I mean, the number 4, number 5, and number 6 receiver obviously don't have catches, but number 2 tight end, number 2 running back, they've all had catches so far, which is interesting. They split out Theo Riddick wide. They go screen to Theo Riddick, who's going to catch it, but he's going to get tackled in the backfield by, I believe, Jair Alexander. Brings up an interesting 3rd and 6. 0 yards on the play for Theo Riddick. Actually, it was Jalen Ramsey. I'm sorry. I took a shot. There was a superstar X-Factor corner. I know that they have 2 of them. So 3rd and 6. It's interesting. Empty set here for Taysom Hill. Got to pick up this first down if you're the independent Chiefs. Let's see what they drop. 4-man rush here for the ACC. He's got to scramble out of the pocket. He has a lot of running room. He's going to get tackled at the 1-yard line. But yeah, that's what you got to worry about. If you're the ACC, you got to eventually adjust to that. Taysom Hill is one of the best runners in the league at quarterback, mainly because he can play running back and tight end, and he does for the New Orleans Saints normally. But you put him in at quarterback, you're going to have to watch out for that scramble, and that's what he killed you with on that play. Running out of the pocket. Sorry, I had to stop that there. For some reason, I felt like a bit of doubt that I hit record. That would have sucked. I would have had to restart this whole thing. But 1st and goal for the independent Chiefs on a very successful drive. They bring Theo Riddick on the field, which makes me think it's not going to be a run because he's not their power back. They actually do go wrong with Theo Riddick. He's going to get tackled for about no gain there. Blown up by, I want to say DJ Reader. Aaron Donald on the inside. So it brings up another 2nd and goal. This is why you should bring Anthony Sherman onto the field. He is a very good fullback, and you get him only on a 1-year rental. So I don't know why not to use him. You bring him on the field, and you bring Jamal Williams on the field. They do that. I called it. They go 2 tight end set here. I think it's going to be run up the middle of Jamal Williams this time. First play, I think they're going to give it to him for the first play of the ball game. They go run up the middle of Jamal Williams. There's a lot of room. He gets into the end zone. Jamal Williams, first play of the ball game, a 1-yard touchdown. And that was a nice drive there by the independent Chiefs. Andy Reid is obviously hyped as heck. But yeah, and he just kind of walks in the end zone. And I think that's one of the more underrated parts of this independent Chiefs team is their offensive line is really good, in my opinion. You have some really good players on that team. Quenton Nelson, to name one. I don't know how to name others. But they really are good. I don't know why they're slipping my head for the time being, but they really are a solid offensive line. Deshaun Kaiser, probably his last year on the team. They're at a hold for Justin Yu, who kicks it. The kick is up and is good. Watch that development later on. Justin Yu is statistically the worst kicker in Madden. I had to make him one. Zack Martin, Mike McGlinchey. I don't know why I was forgetting the names. I wish you can know by the names. They are all very good players. I don't know why I was forgetting them though. But yeah, Justin Yu is statistically the worst kicker in the entire game of Madden. So we'll see how that develops throughout the night. And 2 early touchdowns for these teams. And it looked like both these teams are getting going offensively. We'll see what the first team to force a defensive stop is. It's very possible it's going to be the ACC Buccaneers just because of how stout that entire defense is. But it was a very impressive opening drive for the independent Chiefs. That's what the Mountain West didn't do against the Big Ten. Returnable by Jamison Crowder. He's going to bring it about the 25-yard line. But here comes back Lamar Jackson in this offense. And Lamar Jackson, very solid opening drive. Number 12 for the Buccaneers. I don't know if you guys remember. No, but that's Tom Brady's number. Lamar Jackson has replaced Tom Brady in Tampa. But, I mean, this Tampa team, this ACC team has a chance to repeat, which is interesting. I mean, they have history on their side. The number 1 seed has never won, and it is typically the number 2 seed that wins, although last year was the 3 seed. So, shotgun here for Lamar. I think it could possibly another handoff to Dalvin Cook. They actually bring a receiver in motion. They bring a blitz. He fires it to an open Tyler Boyd again. And Tyler Boyd's been killing it offensively early on. I don't know if it is Tyler Boyd. I took a random guess. I have absolutely no clue if that's Tyler Boyd or not. It's Devontae Parker. It was my guess at the end. I'm so off. But, yeah, this is the problem if you're the independent Chiefs. It's the same problem the Big 12 had defensively. They ended up figuring it out and made big-time plays late in that game on defense. But it's the same thing. I mean, you are not going to get pressure defensively with the defensive line that you have. So you have to make the decision between bringing blitzes and leaving people open or not. They go actually play action. And Lamar Jackson has literally forever to... He throws it deep to an open... Oh, but Dwayne Brown gets hurt. And it's gonna be incomplete, too. So nothing good came from that play. If you're the ACC Buccaneers, you lose one of your starting offensive tackles, which sucks. if you're an ACC fan. It doesn't look like he's too hurt, so maybe he can come back in this game. But you lose one of your starting offensive tackles. And then outside of that, on top of that, actually, you don't get the big completion down the field, which you probably could have. He was open. But yeah, disappointing play. 2nd and 10. We'll see if first incompletion of the ball game for Lamar Jackson. Shotgun here by Lamar. Let's see if they bring a blitz. I feel like I'm feeling a blitz from the independent Chiefs here. They do not. They only have a 4-man rush. He has a decent amount of time, although he's eventually pressured, and it's going to be a quick underneath route to Dalvin Cook, who's quickly tapped down, only for a 4-yard gain. First catch for Dalvin Cook in the air. So it brings up an important 3rd and 6 early on. First third down of the ball game for the ACC Buccaneers. And yeah, the defense finally got pressure on him. How much of that is the Dwayne Brown injury? That'll see something as we develop. 3-man rush, it looks like, although I could see a blitz coming from a linebacker. Shotgun here for Lamar. They go with a 3-man rush, which means, that was almost picked off by Fred Warner. Beautiful cut, and they're going to force the punt there. So, yeah, I don't know how much that Dwayne Brown injury probably impacted that drive, but I think it impacted a decent amount because it did help them get pressure on Lamar Jackson on 2nd down, which forced that pass, and that could have been a pick by Fred Warner. So, watch this defense. They can't get feisty. Punt here, and let's see if they can pin them. They do. They seem to pin them at the 11-yard line, so nice punt there. And Taysom Hill comes back onto the field. He had a very good drive starting out, but so did Lamar, and that drive kind of stalled at about the 50-yard line. We'll see if the independent Chiefs can also have a successful second drive, unlike the ACC. Maybe take the first lead of the ball game. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they had a very successful opening drive, despite their receivers technically being mismatched against the corners with Jalen Ramsey and Jair Alexander. Shotgun here with Theo Riddick on the field for Taysom Hill. He's going to pass underneath to, I believe, Chase Claypool on that play. So Taysom Hill so far, 8-8. It was a very quick decision. Decided to just dump it off, get 5 yards. Very good decision. Bring up a 2nd and 5 at the 15-yard line. So yeah, they haven't run the ball very much. Again, only run the ball 3 times. 2 with Theo Riddick, 1 with their actual starting running back, Jamal Williams. So they go under center here. This might be a run. It is not. 4-man rush for the ACC. He's eventually pressured. He scrambles out. He's going to have a lot of running room. He's going to bring it up to about the 31-yard line, 16 yards on the rush. And yeah, I mean, ACC's eventually got to figure this out, right? And the Bucs got to figure out that Taysom Hill can scramble. You got to put a spy on him. I'd say you bring a 3-man rush because I still think you can get pressure with a 3-man rush, although the defensive line is really good, but so is the offensive line, so it's going to be interesting for the Chiefs. But I think you got to figure out a way to get a spy on Taysom Hill because he's been killing you with his scrambling ability. So Taysom Hill goes shotgun here with Theo Riddick on the field, likely not a run. It isn't. They bring a blitz. He fires it underneath Theo Riddick, who's going to pick up about 2 or 3 yards on the play. 3 yards, brings up a 2nd and 7. And, Theo Riddick hasn't been as involved as I expected him to be early on. If they wanted to win, Theo Riddick was absolutely dominant. He was dominant in the wild card matchup against the Conference USA Vikes. They couldn't figure out a way to stop him. In this game, he just hasn't been there that much. But neither is Jamal Williams. The running game has not been there outside of Taysom Hill. So, under center here. He goes run with Jamal Williams, who's going to pick up next to nothing, 2 yards. Oh, no. The Kansas Chiefs just lost one of their offensive linemen in Nick Martin. And that's also not good. So Dwayne Brown and Nick Martin are injuries early on in this ball game, and that is not good if you are an independent Chiefs fan or a ACC Bucks fan. And the independent Chiefs don't have that much of depth. They really do not. So that injury really hurts you if you're the independent Chiefs. Although I see 56 in the huddle. That's interesting. But 3rd and 5 here. They got to figure out what they're going to do. They bring Theo Riddick onto the field, so likely a passing play. Shotgun here for Taysom Hill. Looks like actually the 4-man rush. He fires it underneath to an open Golden Tate. Actually, an open Will Fuller. Will Fuller's been really involved here early on, despite not being that involved in the wild card matchup. 3 catches, 25 yards for this team, and they've been able to thrive. I haven't really expected it, mainly because you look at that ACC defense. You got Jalen Ramsey, Shair Alexander, Aaron Donald. It's really a stacked defense. Outside of the Big Ten, I can't name a defense that I think is better left in this. I thought the SEC defense was really good, but then they got owned by Patrick Mahomes. Under center here for Taysom Hill. Pitch the outside with Jamal Williams. He has a lot of running room, but he's going to get tackled. Nice play there by Derwin James Jr. So again, safeties are good too. There's a lot of great players on this ACC Bucs defense. And the fact that the independent Chiefs offense is driving so well is a testament to Andy Reid's ability to configure his offense around new quarterbacks. Shotgun here for Taysom Hill. They bring a blitz. He stopped for a few seconds. He's going to get sacked there by Calais Campbell, and it's going to bring up a long 3rd down. It's because Taysom decided not to scramble to the outside for some reason. He ran straight into where the pressure was coming from. If he runs to the outside here, they're going to show the replay. Again, if he runs to the outside, you can probably see. If he doesn't run inside, he probably can pick up a lot of yards. 59 is engaged in a block, and if you run to the outside, there really is no one to pick you up. You could probably gain a lot of yardage if you run to the outside, but instead he runs to the inside, brings up a long 3rd down. Who do you go to here? I gotta think it's Will Fuller. He's been your most dynamic player so far. They bring a blitz off the edge. He's gonna scramble. He's gonna truck a guy, but he's gonna slide, not get hurt. And he's gonna pick up 3 yards, and they're gonna punt this ball back to the ACC. And after 2 drives in which both these teams went long ways, they've both these defenses figured out something to stop the offense, and they're forced back-to-back punts here. Punt here. Let's see. Punt is off. That's gonna go to about the 10-yard line, 15-yard line, before being taken out of bounds by Jamison Crowder. So yeah, the Bucs offense returning to the field. It was shut down a little last time. Fred Warner almost got a big-time pick. But, you've been successful so far. If you're the independent Chiefs, you got to line up Stephon Tuitt on whoever replaced Dwayne Brown. You've just got to do it. You got to make sure your best pass rusher is against their worst offensive lineman. Under center here for Lamar Jackson, this might be another run to Dalvin Cook. It is a run to Dalvin Cook, and he's going to get tackled for only about 3 yards. Nice tackle on the play by Fatukasi. Fatukasi makes the play. It's a defensive tackle. You're not going to hear his name very much, but, he's one of their most important players on the inside. So, shotgun here for Lamar Jackson. 2nd and 7. Coming to the end of this minute. They go pass here. He has time. He fires to an open Deandre Hopkins on the out route, and he's going to pick up 9 yards in the 1st down. 1st and 10 here. First catch, by the way, for D-Hop. So they've done a rather good job of containing him so far, although the other receivers like Devontae Parker and Tyler Boyd have been killing him through the air. Although we've only seen 1 catch by Darren Waller. I think they've done a pretty good job defensively of eliminating their plays, although ground game's been killer. Play action here. He's got to scramble around. He's going to eventually get sacked, though, or they're going to count it as a rush, but they're going to get no yards on the play. It's going to go to Romeo Okwara, the tackle, although I think it could have been ruled a sack. It brings up a 2nd and 10, 24 seconds left. We'll probably see one more play before halftime, especially if Lamar Jackson goes under center like he is. But I think this has been a very impressive so they can actually go pass here. Fires it to an open Darren Waller, which I was talking about Darren Waller not being involved enough. But it's been very interesting so far. Independents are still hanging in there. Stay tuned with us next episode, though. But hey, everybody, this is GGB Coast Pepper saying adios, amigos.